Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Got an entire video dedicated on some great PC game deals that are running right now. Would highly recommend you to check out all of these. We've got two humble bundles, one of them the Bandai Namco bundle, and at the very least I would highly recommend you to get the $1 tier because of one game that's a part of that. The entire bundle is pretty good. We'll take a look at that. They've got the humble 8-bit pixel game dev bundle, so if you're looking to get into the game dev market, a lot of good stuff over there. Also, Gamesplanet has launched their next day of the spring sale. A lot of great flash deals available as a part of that. And if you don't want to play Borderlands 3 on the Epic Games Store, well, there was a phenomenal deal on the Borderlands Handsome Collection over at Greenman Gaming, and you can get that collection relatively cheap right now, and that should hold you over until April 2020. All memes aside, that's a great deal, and Dead Cells is finally seeing a significant discount over on Newegg. That's for an online game code, a PC version of that game. You guys know how I feel about Dead Cells, terrific game, and I'll take a look at that at the end of this video. First up, let's have a look at the humble Bandai Namco Bundle 3. This is one of the best humble bundles in a very long time, if I say so myself, and that's probably due to the excellence of the $1 tier. So at the pay $1 or more, you get Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, Impact Winter, but best of all, a game that I always like to recommend, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Guys, I love this game, and now that it's a part of the $1 tier for a humble bundle, if you don't pick it up, we're gonna have some serious problems. No, seriously, Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a great game, originally released all the way back in 2010 on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Randomly, out of nowhere seemingly, it got a PC port, and the PC port was pretty good, but the greatness of Enslaved Odyssey to the West really comes from the fundamental game. You take on this journey with Monkey and Trip, the two main characters, and you go through this post-apocalyptic world, but unlike a lot of other post-apocalyptic worlds, it's very vibrant, it's very colorful, and it's a marriage of a lot of different gameplay mechanics, from great platforming, great combat, puzzles. I'm not even big on puzzles, but it is great in all that regard, and the story's pretty good as well, although the ending left a little bit to be desired from me. Fact of the matter is, the game is now $1, and I highly recommend it. And of course, at that $1 tier, you get Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. Can't go wrong with a Pac-Man game in your library. And then Impact Winter got a pretty poor reception. However, that's another game you'll get as a part of the pay $1 or more tier. The Beat the Average right now is $9.65, and I think it's so high because most people are settling in that $15 tier, and we'll look at that in a little bit, but the $9.65 tier isn't bad. It'll get you Little Nightmares. That's a very good horror platformer adventure title, so at $9.65 to get that as a part of the bundle, that's pretty good. You get 1111 Memories Retold. I personally haven't played this game, but I've heard very, very good things about it. It's got a very positive reception on Steam, 95% positive based on only 71 user reviews. Game is set in 1916. A young photographer leaves Canada to join the Western Front in Europe. The same day, a German technician is told that his son is missing in action. Both want to preserve their humanity and come back alive to their loved ones. It's a World War I historical game, and it touts an emotional narrative-driven experience, so that's pretty cool. Get Even is also part of the Beat the 965 average tier. Not a bad game, definitely some fundamental errors with it. The game was developed by the Farm 51, and I believe they're creating another game right now. The name of their new game escapes me, but I remember thinking that game looked really good. Get Even is a pretty interesting psychological horror title. Some of the fundamental aspects definitely leave a lot to be desired. However, it is an interesting enough game, and just being added as a part of the Beat the Average, I don't think it's all too bad. And then lastly, rounding out the Beat the Average is Project Cars. Alright, so I think most people are ending up paying $15 or more if they do go past the $1 tier, and that's because the $15 or more is really good. It'll get you God Eater 2 Rage Burst as well as Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Now, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet isn't a great JRPG, however, as far as the Sword Art games go, I think Fatal Bullet is one of the best ones because it does take place in the world of Gun Gale Online. Adding those interesting third-person shooting mechanics makes the gameplay a lot better. And $15 is without a doubt the cheapest we've seen that game for. And God Eater 2 Rage Burst, well, God Eater 3 did just release. If you want that anime-ish Monster Hunter experience, God Eater 2 definitely isn't a bad buy. So the $15 tier, I would say, is quite good if you do want to go out of your way. If you're contemplating and beating the average of $9.65, I would just say go to that $15 tier if you are into Japanese RPGs. And those games will be well worth it. Lastly, they do have a pay $25 or more tier. I don't think this is worth it. That'll get you Tekken 7 as well. Tekken 7, I think, is a great fighting game. You guys know how I feel about fighting games on PC. Unfortunately, they just don't have a lot of longevity. Tekken 7 is no different in that regard. Has a pretty good single-player component, but $25, it's raising up the tier by $10. And even then, I don't know, I just don't think Tekken 7 is quite worth that, but it is a good game nonetheless. So rounding out the Bandai Namco bundle, again, would highly recommend the $1 tier for Enslaved Odyssey to the West and Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. If you do want to go further, the $15 tier isn't bad either. Of course, I am partnered by Humble, and I do get a little bit of a kickback if you use my link, so that is definitely appreciated. But of course, Humble offers great value with all of their bundles. and this one is one of the best ones that they've put out in quite a while. I also do want to give a quick mention to the humble 8-bit pixel game dev bundle. This includes a lot of assets, full of pixel art, textures, fonts, sound effects, and tunes. Your next 8-bit pixel game will not only look great, but sound great too. So I'm not going to go through everything as a part of this one, but if you're looking to create some sort of 8-bit pixel game, this bundle will give you a lot of content and a lot of assets to use, so I'll leave that in the description box as well. Next up, the next day of Gamesplanet spring sale did just kick off. I don't see a lot of high quality titles that I would personally recommend as a part of the sale, but there are a couple of standouts to me. Sunset Overdrive is 32% off for $13.50. That game is tremendous. Great on the Xbox. Finally was released on PC after a couple of years, and Sunset Overdrive turned out pretty well on PC as well. Performance is solid. The gameplay is still great, and it's a relatively lengthy game for what you're getting. As far as open world games go, is it as good as Insomniac's Marvel Spider-Man? Probably not, but Sunset Overdrive kind of set the table of what they could do in an open world, and it is pretty zany, it's pretty charming, and I would give it a strong recommendation, especially at the price of $13.50. One title that's kind of held up in price, so $13.50 is one of the better deals I've seen on it. A couple of other deals are available. A bunch of the LEGO titles are discounted south of $5, so that's definitely not bad. I see a couple of sports titles. NBA 2K19 is $42. That's for the 20th anniversary edition. Yikes, that's pretty expensive. WWE 2K19 is down to $25. That's not all too bad. They got This Is the Police 1 and 2 discounted. The first title is $3.33. This Is the Police 2, which is a pretty recent release, is $11. City Skylines also has a sizable discount. Deluxe Edition is 78% off for $9. They've got After Dark 53% off for $7, and all of the City Skylines content has been discounted. The base game is $7. Definitely not a bad deal there. I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below, and I do get a kickback from them as well, as now we are partnered with Gamesplanet, so that's pretty exciting. But they're running a pretty good sale. I already did a video on them looking at a lot of great deals under $5, so you can check that out if you are interested. And lastly, a couple more deals to cover. Borderlands The Handsome Collection as well as Dead Cells. Borderlands The Handsome Collection is available at Green Man Gaming. VIP members will get it for $11.22. I believe if you're not a VIP member, you'll get it for $12 and change, which is quite good for Borderlands The Handsome Collection. Non-VIP members will get it for $12.54. And I believe Gearbox did just update the game to add 4K textures, so that's pretty cool. And considering that Borderlands 3 won't be on Steam until April 2020, if you want to get your Borderlands fix, the Handsome Collection is not a bad way to do so. Of course, this includes Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, as well as a slew of DLC content for both of those games, and that'll keep you busy for a very, very long time. You're talking north of 200 hours of gameplay, so definitely worth checking out the Borderlands The Handsome Collection, especially with this bundle. A lot of content, and again, all memes aside, if you have no interest in Borderlands 3, if you've never played Borderlands, this is just a great gateway point. I know for a lot of people, it's time to boycott Borderlands. Borderlands is the cancer to gaming and all that good stuff. I know a lot of you guys did that with Metro as well. I'm actually really interested to see the Borderlands Steam reviews right now, probably tanking pretty hard, but nonetheless, of course, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel are pretty good games. And lastly, I also want to give a shout to Dead Cells. This is without a doubt the best deal I've seen on this game. It is down to $15.50. It just got an awesome piece of free DLC content. Motion Twin did a tremendous job with Dead Cells, a game that when I initially started playing it, wasn't completely enamored with it, wasn't completely absorbed into it, but then you play it for an hour, you play it for 2 hours, and it just becomes very, very addictive. And I would give Dead Cells an absolute recommendation. Absolutely love the art style, the old school look, the presentation's great from the music, again, the visuals are solid, and then the gameplay is very satisfying as well, and it's got a lot of variety in its gameplay. I just can't say enough good things about Dead Cells, a game that I always recommend, and one of my favorite games in 2018, and yes, it did release all the way back in August, but it's held up in price for a reason, and it's because it's that compelling and that good of a game to actually keep its price high. And again, they did just release a sizable piece of free DLC, so that makes the game even better, and legitimately, it was another level, a couple of bosses added as well, new enemies, a couple secrets. I haven't gone through the entire thing myself, but Motion Twin outdid themselves with that DLC, and they could have easily charged $5 or $10 for it, but they just released it free for everybody that owned the game, so that was great. And $15.50 for that over at Newegg. Again, you will get emailed a code for the game, so no problem there. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, a lot of great deals right now. From the humble Bandai Namco bundle, that's great, and I would easily recommend that $1 tier. The 8-bit pixel game dev bundle is quite good as well for those of you that are looking to create an 8-bit title. Gamesplanet spring sale continues to roll on, and that's pretty good. Borderlands The Handsome Collection as well as Dead Cells are discounted as well. Links to everything will be in the description box down below. That's gonna conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.